Hello guys, it is me, that panda guy, and I'm here again with another video. And today we are joined by my dog, and this dude is freaking needy right now. So let us all just cross our fingers and hope that he lets me record this video. But yeah, we're gonna hop right into it and kind of talk about Hank. I'm not gonna say that last name, but we're gonna talk about Hank today, and we're gonna, kind of just talk about if he's worth investing in or just how good he is as a whole, right? And I will say now that I do generally think that Hank is a good hero, but I wouldn't generally invest in him, especially if you're a low spender, because I do think, like, for example, if you were to spend on Jin, that Hank might not be worth the investment because you already got a pretty good siege hero. And even if you didn't invest in Jin, a lot of the time it's just really hard to level up Hank. Think of Peter, for example. I'm pretty sure early game you have some top commander events with Peter, so you're at least able to get some relics for that, whereas you can only get Hank from the police station as well as spending your universal gem. So overall it is really hard, or just takes forever to get Hank up. Though if you do awaken Hank, or he is better than your Peter, as a whole, I do think that this dude is pretty good. His skills are pretty good, and he does have a good talent tree for siege, be it he has the skill tree right here. So just having the skill talent tree is really huge. So I'll start off by showing you guys kind of my rally tree. I will say I think I might have shown it a little bit differently in another video, but I did change it because I will say that although it's pretty nice having this little buff right here, but overall I do always mention that rage is really important, and I ended up going towards the Predator's rage and max this out. So this is my rally tree, and I do have a field tree for him, though I never recommend using him on the field. If you use him on the field, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. I actually think that might be about the same. Yeah, almost exactly the same. I will say that I might not invest right here, right? I don't know about putting steadfast defense. Generally, I don't recommend double-edged sword, but for example, if a hero's skill damage is insane and you think that the damage you might be taking is worth it, sometimes the skill or this talent is worth the point. So it's really up to you. But either way, you guys get my point, and we're gonna kind of hop into this video now. Booyah. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at his skills. So we're going to read off his first skill. So his first skill reads, Rage required 1000, as most heroes normally need. And it deals direct damage. The damage factor can be 4,500, and it's, dealt to that target. And it causes a burn damage for around 5 seconds. This burn damage is a damage factor of 900 damage. And it deals bonus damage to the garrison squad. Okay, so 2 garrison squads. So if you're attacking, a person you're actually sieging, it's going to be 4.5k plus this extra 3.5k. And of course, you guys can see the numbers here, upgrade preview, where it starts at, these are of course the numbers I'm reading off, or if your skill's already at level 5. But you guys see a lot of these are already factored around siege. You see that it goes up just based off fighting against a freaking base, right? So you're losing out on that 3.5k if you are fighting on the field with him. And I do want to just mention, this dude has almost if no skills built for field. So I never recommend using Hank on the field, and that's one of his even bigger issues, is that he's only built for siege, right? You can't use him anywhere else, so you got to be ready for that and understand that using him on the field is pretty much a death, just sending yourself out to die. Alright, now we're looking at his second skill. It increases the damage dealt to lookout towers by 30%. During siege, it also increases the amount of resources rated by 10%. So this means how many resources you can get in one hit. So if you got, I don't know, 900k with normal siege, you might get 1 million with the extra 10%. You guys kind of get the point. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think. But yeah, lookout towers, I do think lookout towers, I'm not 100% sure, but I do think lookout towers can be just a pretty, I think they just do a decent amount of damage. So just having this damage dealt to lookout towers by 30% is pretty nice, especially when they're getting free hits on you. So I do think that is a decent skill, though I don't know if I'd upgrade it in that order. I'll kind of go through what order I might level these skills up in after this, just so you guys know. Now we're looking at the third skill. So squad's basic attacks have a 10% chance to deal bonus damage. The damage factor is 3.2k if you're not at level 5, of course, during siege. This is only during siege. So squads have a basic attack to, squad's basic attacks have a 10% chance to deal this. So you get this, it's kind of like skill damage, but you only have a 10% chance to unleash this, and it only works if you're attacking a base. It does not work on the field. Now we're going to look at skill number 4. It increases the squad capacity by 12% and the rally capacity by 12%, meaning that, 12% more troops can join a rally, as well as 12% more troops in, just a normal march. And I do think that this skill is, pretty nice. I actually like this one quite a bit. And now we're going to be looking at his awakened skill, finally. His awakened skill is called Explosive Tempo, and basically the basic attacks have a 10% chance to reduce the target's damage by 8% and defense by 20% for 3 seconds. And I do like this skill even more so because, it isn't exclusively to Siege, at least that's, what it's kind of implying here. So that's pretty nice, and I do think that, just reducing their defense by 20% and even, their damage by 8% can be pretty huge. So, I mean, I do think that Hank overall is a master class at Siege. Just the issue is he's no good anywhere else. He's just a specialist in the Siege area. I'd never use him in the field. He's really hard to invest in. He will take a lot of time, and I think of it like this: like, you only have a certain amount of heroes that you can invest in, especially if you're not a spender or you spend really low. You only have a certain amount of heroes that you can invest into, and it's really hard to only choose like a hero that's going to only specialize in a one thing, and kind of force you to only use this hero when you're sieging, because you're going to be doing a lot of field fighting in this game, I feel like, or generally you are, or just in general, right? Like, it's really hard to imagine Hank being super useful anywhere else. And that is really the big issue that I have. And it makes it like really hard to want to invest a lot of time into this hero. So I do hope you guys got some value or just anything out of this video. I do hope I helped clear anything up about Hank for you guys. And I do appreciate, as always, the fact that you guys wanted to watch my video or did watch my video. So I do thank you guys as always. And it's been a pleasure, and peace out. I know I said that was the end of the video, but I kind of wanted to talk real quick about the siege tree and just why I didn't go this way, because I noticed a lot of people do kind of invest in the siege tree for siege, and I will say the big reason is I just don't see like a lot of these being worth it. Like, a lot of these just talents that you go through aren't worth what they're actually giving, right? And I feel like the only thing that's really worth it is clinical treatment. And I feel like okay, so basically what will happen is, if you get this up enough, I'll actually kind of show you guys here, so give me a sec. So you can get this actually up to 9%, right? And so what will happen is, if you have 100k die, 9% of those will actually go to the hospital instead. And I just feel like it's not worth the percents that you're giving up on all these other talents. And honestly, I feel like you would already be reducing the deads that you might be having just by doing that, in the first place. So I don't feel like the percents that you're getting from that are really worth it. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're also going to be just spending those resources back into healing, and I just don't see it being super worth it. So I really don't feel like the siege tree is worth it unless those like percents go up even more that you go towards the clinical treatment. So that's all I wanted to say. Also, I didn't tell you guys what order I would level up his skills, so let me do that real quick. So this one's hard for me. I feel like I would probably go 1 4 3 2, and the big reason is, one, I always say skill damage is huge. The first skill, always max out first skill first. That's always what I will do. Then fourth, I feel like the capacity is really huge, and I just feel like these other ones are way too, I don't know. Okay, so besides the fact that they only do damage during siege and all that, I also want to mention that, like, a lot of them, I think both of these only have a so the third skill only has a 10% chance to deal off this damage, whereas this one also, like, it does increase damage dealt to lookout towers by 30%, and it also increases the resource rated, but I don't think that's like super necessary. Besides the lookout towers, lookout tower damage dealt is a 100% chance of you unleashing that, so that is a little bit more worth it in a sense to me than actually just having this 10% one. I also want to mention that, the last skill, since it also does increase the rally capacity by 12%, just having those extra, for example, 200,000 troops in that rally, being able to actually like outnumber your opponent is pretty massive. Like, because I've talked about this on multiple occasions, but let's say it's 1 million troops versus 1 million troops, you're going to be trading even more likely, right? Like, you're going to be trading off more even, whereas if it's 1 million versus 1.2 million, the 1.2 million, like, just if you're putting it face value, is going to be trading better. So it's better to have more troops in the rally. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through that. And I do thank you guys, like I was saying earlier, for watching, and peace out. Sorry for taking up your time. Thank you guys.